Hello and welcome to All Saints Church at Brokerswood. We don't often have a chance to come and see Brokerswood, and you may not have been here for quite some time, but you are welcome today, and you would be welcome at any time, in fact. I'm Revd Caroline, and I'm vicar here at All Saints Church in Brokerswood and at Dilton Marsh, so you'll often find me out and about in the neighbourhood. I thought I would bring today's just thoughts with you to share with you from here because, like I said, we don't often have a chance to come to Brokerswood. Now, we do meet here once a month. We have a service, Celtic service in the evening, and you would be most welcome at 6 o'clock, third Sunday of the month. And it's a Celtic evening prayer where we contemplate and reflect upon the gospel message for the day, and we sing hymns and we pray together. You would be very welcome if you would like to come along. So as I walk through the church, I'm going to show you some different little things, and you'll get a little view of what it's like to be here. This is a church that might be considered vulnerable in so much as it only has a very small regular congregation that gather here, some from the village and some that travel to come. It's also a vulnerable church in so much as it doesn't have modern conveniences. So, for example, there's no toilets or electricity or water. So we do have events here, and on those occasions we have a toilet outside, and a refreshments tent is erected as well. We have a wonderful group of people called the Friends of the Tin Church. That will become more obvious in a minute why it's called the Tin Church. But these little group of friends are a dedicated group of friends who try and support the works of the church. And the reason why I'm here is to share with you some of our latest challenges. There are challenges that have come to light. So, for this little church, we have issues with the windows. So this is rather pressing. I'm going to show you the window. Desperately needs sorting out. We have a couple of quotes, and can you believe one is around £700 and the other is about £1,700, but anyway, either sum we need to raise the funds for. This is a graded listed building, and so we do need to make sure that any repairs are in keeping with the tradition and the history of the building. So I'm going to show you our other challenge. Are you ready? Can you see the bell tower up there? And the air vents into the building. So this wonderful little church does have a bell tower and one single bell, but the bell tower really needs some work doing to it. And when we do the bell tower, we can then access the bell, because the bell also needs, so it's perfectly ringable, except that it needs a new rope attaching to it. When we had when we rang for the Jubilee, the Queen's Jubilee last year, the bell rope just disintegrated in our hands. So that obviously needs replacing, but we can't access it until the bell tower's fixed. So those are a couple of our little challenges at this church. We also have another challenge, and that is that the foundations of the church need a little bit of work doing to it. The church was never intended to be here. Next year we celebrate 120 years of the church being here. It was sent here as a missional church, and it was intended that this church would serve the local community, and probably with a view that the local community would grow and grow. But in fact, what's happened is the village of Dilton Marsh and the town of Westbury has grown exponentially, and this little village has remained largely at the same number that it was 120 years ago. Of course, there are a few new homes around, but nowhere near the development that Dilton Marsh or Westbury has seen. So this church then, so the foundations, when it was built here, it was built, and the church it was secondhand. It had a new life here, and probably it was envisaged that this church would then go on to somewhere else and be erected to help somewhere else, and that the spot here would give birth to a brick church or stone church. That never happened, but we have this church, and it's doing us really well. Of course it needs maintenance and it needs repairs, of course every building does, and but the foundation work will need to be done very carefully and at great cost. We can't help that. So we are doing a big fundraising project for this little church. If you'd like to contribute, you can find the QR code on the Church Near You Brokerswood website, and also on our White Horse News, our White Horse Team Ministry website. So please search them out. And if you'd like to make a donation towards the fabric of the church, those are the projects that money will be spent on. I'm going to show you now a picture as I walk away from the church. Can you see? Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. There you are. Hope you can see that. Wonderful, wonderful witness to the local community that Christ's Church is here, and it is called All Saints. It is for all people, so people far and wide to come. I mentioned the Friends of the Tin Church. The Friends of the Tin Church are a small band of people who care passionately about looking after this church and really don't want to see it go to ruin. They're a small group, and they're always looking for extra members. And if you would like to sign up to them, please get in touch, and we can put you in touch with the right people. There's a small subs fee once a year. And then you'll be invited to be part of the committee as well, planning some wonderful events like cream tea afternoons, music festival, joining in with Froome Festival, and bangers and mash evening, as well as our harvest festivals and those sorts of things. We look forward to seeing you at one of the events here soon. God bless.